Hey yo, what's going on guys? It is Rinne-Hatake here, back with another video, and today we got What If Naruto was Zoro's reincarnation. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the last video, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this video. But without further ado, let us begin. In the world of Naruto, there was a different spirit that was roaming the shinobi world, and that spirit's name would be Zoro. Zoro had died in the One Piece universe due to his old age. Zoro, in this universe, Naruto's universe, would watch and wait until he gets a strong, sensation. He feels something strong happening, like he feels a bond to a human body in this world. And Zoro thought, well, it's time to find someone who will be my reincarnate. So, quick pause right there. You guys are probably wondering how this reincarnation thing works. But for this what if, I'm gonna change the laws of the reincarnation kind of thing. So the way the reincarnation works is, well, if a spirit has come from, if there's a spirit in this world, they have to try to find a human host to host their spirit. But there's one law for this reincarnation to work. The host must be, strong enough to carry the spirit or to hold the spirit within them. So if, per se, a very strong spirit, let's just use Zeno as an example. If Zeno was to reincarnate because he died of something. This is just an example, by the way. He wouldn't actually die, but if he actually died, he would need to reincarnate into, I don't know, a random body if he's in a different universe. So he would use a human or other type of body to reincarnate in. But if the spirit is too strong, then the mortal body that the spirit is trying to reincarnate into will basically die, and so will the spirit. So that's like the only law they have to obey. They have to find a strong host. And so Zoro, let's get back into it. So Zoro started going around searching until he found a suitable host for him, and that would be Naruto. Everything about Naruto would be the same. Every single part of Naruto would be the same. His looks would be the same, except he'll get an addition to something in his face instead of the besides the whiskers. He also gets a cut that looks basically a scar. It looks like he has a scar on his left eye, but it's just a birthmark. But besides that, everything else would be the same. So growing up, Naruto was, treated differently by the villagers because they assumed Naruto was the Nine-Tails, and Naruto wasn't all depressed and all that because of that. But Naruto instead would, start doing some training. Not something too hard, but some training. Some, like, push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, some normal exercises here and there. But sometimes the villagers would take these, punishments, they'd say, to the demon a little too far, and Naruto would sometimes beat up the villagers, or in some cases get badly injured a few times. But a few times he's actually taken down a few adults, and beat the living life out of them. So, yeah. Naruto will never let a chance of beating up a villager go to waste. He'll always beat him up with no mercy. But Naruto still hasn't, met Zoro yet. But the reason why Naruto's able to take on a grown adult is because, it's because of Zoro's haki. Naruto's spirit, Well, the way hockey works, I think the way hockey works is due to the person's spiritual strength. So if Naruto's strength isn't strong enough, then he wouldn't really get a big boost. But I'm gonna say that Naruto's spirit, due to Zoro's spirit as well, reincarnate of Zoro, and his already strong spirit combined would be enough to give him a base stat boost. So yeah, Naruto doesn't have ki under control, he just has an increase in strength, power, endurance, and stuff like that. But we move from that, and Naruto, he loves fighting. He has a strong burning passion for fighting, but not fighting with fist, but fighting with a weapon. Naruto feels like he's missing a limb without a weapon, so Naruto goes around and finds a stick to try to play swords with, and Naruto starts swinging his swords, and Naruto is pretty good with his sword. He isn't the greatest, he's pretty average, and that's a shocker to Naruto because he has never ever wielded a sword before, but he's just practicing with a stick, so he decides to try to get a wooden sword instead. And Naruto, well, he goes to 1010's shop, well, 1010's dad's shop, and decides to try to buy a blade or convince the owner to give him a blade. And it worked out pretty well. Naruto got himself a wooden sword for free, but he got a black eye when he came out of the store because, well, the owner just decided to beat him up for some reason because he didn't like Naruto whatsoever, so he taught him a lesson. So yeah, Naruto came out with a black eye, but came out with a wooden sword as well. So Naruto, during the next day as he recovered, he went to the forest and began training, started swinging a sword, and Kakashi from the shadows was watching this, was pretty surprised that Naruto was a natural with his sword. He just kept watching and observing. But one moment later, Naruto, when he yelled and swung his sword down, he released an aura that burst open, and this was his haki. His haki burst out and spread very far, and Kakashi could feel this strange feeling, and one moment later, Kakashi fell out of the tree and was knocked out. And Naruto, exerting this much spiritual energy, also was knocked out. So it was a double knockout. But Naruto didn't mean to use haki. He just accidentally tapped into it. He's gonna figure how to use it later on, but for now he doesn't know much. So Naruto, well, he was knocked out and he entered his mindscape. And I forgot to say that Zoro entered the mindscape to change Naruto little by little. But he's not gonna take over Naruto's body, he's just the reincarnation. Unlike the other story, how I said Black took over Naruto's body and completely changed him. No, that's not how Zoro works. This is a totally different what if. It's not gonna be like that. Since, well, Black forced his way into Naruto's body, so forced this way when he was unborn too, but still, Naruto works, apologies, I'm stuttering, but the way the reincarnation works and that what if is totally different from this what if, so yeah, don't get this and that what if confused. So we move from that, and Naruto finds himself in a mindscape and began searching until he saw someone leaning against a wall, and he saw a massive cage, but also sees someone leaning against the wall, and it was a man with green hair and 3 swords, and he was also scarred on one eye, and it was his left eye, like Naruto. Naruto walked up to the man and began talking to him, saying, "Hello? Who are you, and what's your name?" Zoro replies by saying, "Well, my name is Zoro, kid, and I am Well, you are my reincarnation, Naruto Uzumaki. And that was a big shocker to Naruto, and Naruto, well, gained a little bit of intelligence, but not much. Wait, guys, give me a second. I need a water break. Apologies for the quick break, but I'm back. So as I was saying, Naruto met up with Zoro and started talking to him, and started to get a better understanding of Zoro and how how he lived his life. And Naruto began training. Well, he woke up, eventually waking up, and he decided to start training, and Zoro played a big part in this. Zoro helped him train mentally and physically, and Naruto was getting stronger with a sword and decided to get real swords. He got a sword from the same shop. This time he didn't get beat up. He just actually got money because he started working for Ichiraku. So yeah, Naruto gets a little bit of money and he bought 3 swords with that money because he started working. So Naruto got 3 swords. It isn't any legendary blade or anything. It's just normal katanas. Your average everyday katana. It's just average. Nothing great about it, but it's still good to Naruto. So Naruto began training with that, doing every single bit of training Zoro did. And Naruto was in the academy. I forgot to mention that, but he was in the academy. Apologies, in the academy while he was doing this training. So Naruto was pretty young and still training. And soon enough, Naruto, well, his talents with the sword became very, very clear. Kakashi reported this to Hiruzen, and he was pretty surprised too. But he wasn't too surprised because he was an Uzumaki, well, part Uzumaki, and his mother Kushina was a great Kenjutsu user, so he wasn't too surprised, but still very surprised at the same time, if you know what I'm saying. Well, if you understand what I'm saying. So, yeah. I apologize for the background noises. There's a lot of them, but we move. So, Naruto is a special kind of prodigy. He is a little smarter. I made him a little smarter. He isn't going to be an F-graded student. He's going to be at least a B- student. Yeah, he's a B- student. He's an average, just a little below average. So he isn't that bright, but is a little bit brighter than his canon counterpart. He understands how chakra works better and started training with chakra too, mastering the tree walk and also the water walking. So yeah, he knows those basic chakra control things. He's a little better, but the Ninetales still trying to disturb him. So he asked Zoro to do something about it, and Zoro just told the Ninetales to let this child have a bit of control. Just let him have a bit of control. And Zoro gave the Ninetales a menacing glare and activated his haki. And that presence, Kurama felt, that presence was a warning. And Kurama thought this power was pretty interesting, so he decided to let Naruto have free reign with his chakra. Kurama was not scared by any means, but he felt Zoro's, energy around him, and Kurama was pretty surprised that any person could just do that, so he decided to give Naruto the benefit of the doubt and let him have a bit of control. And Naruto's chakra control this time around would be incredible because Kurama isn't interrupting him anymore, so he's good. But there's one thing that isn't clear yet. Since Naruto in the original canon was the reincarnation of Ashura, but that is going to be totally changed. The way the reincarnation works... Wait, pardon? We move from that, and sorry for the quick break. Someone entered the room without, my permission. Pardon again. Sorry for another interruption, but we move. Sorry again for another interruption, but we finally move. And as I was saying, Naruto is a B minus student and isn't as much of a, well, isn't much of an idiot as before, but still pretty stupid and dense. But we move from that. Naruto continues training all the way to the end of the, well, of the academy year, and Naruto was pretty impressive to, well, Iruka and the other teachers he gets here and there, because they were surprised that Naruto, his intelligence has grew significantly, especially in the practicals that they had over the year. The practicals they had were kind of laid out to see how good they are with battle tactics, and Naruto, his battle tactics were insane, and they thought that Naruto was a natural prodigy at battle, and they were truly right. And at the end of the Genin, well, when it's the Genin exams, Naruto passes the written exam and also passes the, well, the practical. And Naruto basically gets his ninja headband. But before he gets the ninja headband, he also had to fight Sasuke. Naruto brought out his 3 swords to show Sasuke something that he's learned. Sasuke gets out of kunai, and Sasuke is very wary of Naruto's techniques. But he wasn't sure what he's gonna do with 3 swords because he only had 2 hands. So what was he gonna do with the other one? Put it in his mouth? And Sasuke began laughing, saying, "What are you gonna do with the third one? Put it in your mouth?" And Naruto said, "Exactly, Sasuke. You're catching on pretty quickly." And Sasuke widens his eyes, saying, "What? You can't wield a sword with your mouth." And Naruto says, "Well, no one else can, but I can." Naruto brings out his 3 swords, puts one in his mouth, and takes his stance. Naruto lowers his stance even further and says, "Onigiri!" and blasts forward with his 3 swords, and Sasuke wasn't expecting this, and before he knew it, he was behind. Well, Naruto was behind him, and Sasuke had 2 gashes, an X mark, and one straight in the middle, horizontal line right across his chest with the X mark. So it's basically an X with a line in the middle of it. So yeah, Sasuke wasn't expecting that, and Sasuke, he dropped to the ground saying, "What the hell?" and just fainted because of shock, that's all. And Naruto said, when Naruto says, "That wasn't much of a challenge." No, that wasn't much of a challenge. And walks away, and he gets his headband, and the Mizuki stuff still happened, and Naruto, he used the Onigiri, and that one-shotted, well, Mizuki. And Naruto decided to get a few jutsus from the scroll while he's at it. So he did get the multi-shadow clone jutsu and the shadow clone jutsu, but he decided to write down one jutsu that piqued his interest down. And that jutsu would be the, well, flying Raijin. And Naruto is interested because it read in the description of the flying Raijin, the 4th Hokage used this jutsu as a teleporting technique, but the 2nd Hokage also used it for a teleporting technique, but also to use with his sword. So if you've seen in multiple Naruto flashbacks, Tobirama used a flying Raijin with his sword and slashed Madara's brother, and that basically ended up killing Madara's brother. So yeah, Naruto would be interested by this. So he decided to write the whole jutsu down and take back the scroll of sealing to the old man. And Hiruzen questioned Naruto, saying, "Why have you written down a note of the flying Raijin, especially that jutsu?" Naruto stood still and said, "Well, old man, that jutsu seems interesting. I might be able to use it with my sword, so if you can let me off this once, that'd be great." And Hiruzen was pretty shocked by this. Apologies again, there's another person coming in. No one's coming in? Okay, good. So, well, Hiruzen was, well, decided to let Naruto, have this one jutsu. But he wanted to see how Naruto would progress, so he let him have it. Apologies again. Sorry again for the quick stop, but I'm back. So Naruto, he got the jutsu and he started practicing it, but isn't, well, too great at it. Apologize for all that noise in the background, but we are back. So, as I was saying, Naruto isn't the best with the flying Raijin. He's still starting his training, but yeah, we move from that, and apologies again. I apologize again, but we move from that. So yeah, Naruto's gotten exponentially stronger due to his training, and Sasuke is more motivated to train. So that's a big boost to Sasuke as well. Isn't much, but he's growing a little stronger by the day. But Naruto's still ahead of him, and Naruto is the same strong as Zoro from the start of the anime. So yeah, that's how strong he is right now. He isn't going to be developing too much of crazy moves. Apologies again for all the background noises, but we move. So Naruto is crazy strong at this point. He is starting to do his hockey training here and there, but it's not much, just a little bit of hockey training. But he doesn't even know how to access hockey. He could just put it in one part of the blade, basically just one part of his body, and yeah, it just has a little bit of a purple glow, but besides that, it's not really much of a big boost. It just makes the blade a little bit stronger and has more endurance. Or yeah, has more endurance. So yeah, that's basically it for the hockey training so far. And now they're gonna be doing the belt test, but I'll be leaving it off there for the next part. I'll be leaving it off there, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. But make sure to also like and subscribe if you guys, well, also hit the bell so you can be notified whenever I post a new video, and hit the like button so we can get another part of this. You guys can get another part of What If Naruto was Zoro's reincarnation, and hit the subscribe button because that would really help out the channel. So, well, if you don't like my content later on, then you guys can still unsubscribe if you want to. But without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next What If. Peace.